watch a little more. Watch a little more.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to get there.
Watch a lot more.
Is your dog on welfare? Is your dog on welfare?
Dude, you're having a nightmare.
You're one of them girly men, aren't you?
He's a socialist.
He's one of them girly men. Be nice.
I don't believe
One of them girly
This
men.
is the best country in the world, sir.
I agree.
And you want socialism and communism? I
No,
don't
I
understand
want
your
people to have affordable medical care.
Okay, but you see what British is doing, how their medical care is working? It don't work, man. I agree with you. Everyone needs a job too, right?
Right.
Well, how do you get that? You get jobs, and Obama ain't getting us jobs.
And what are some of the issues you'd like to see Senate or Congress act on, if given the chance?
Stop acting on any of them. They're overstepping their boundaries. It's for the states to decide.
What would you like to see them? What would you like to see the federal government stop doing?
Obamacare, cap and trade, immigration, taking over banks, car companies, just totally ruining our economy.
Now, what are some of your concerns with cap and trade, as an example?
It's a hoax.
And how's that? Explain it to me.
Explain it to me. It's just a way of people making money. I just don't believe in that God would let us destroy the earth with CO2. We exhale CO2. So, that doesn't make a bit of sense.
President Obama was recently talking about one of the groups that's in opposition to his policies. One of these groups is, innocent sounding enough, Americans for Prosperity. And we don't know who they are. We suspect they might be funded by some foreign government or corporation or something. Yeah.
That's not quite what he said, but yeah.
Well, I don't know the quote.
He said it has innocent-sounding names, but we don't know who's funding them. Do you know who funds Americans for Prosperity?
Americans who are part of Americans for Prosperity, moms and dads, and I'm not a mom or a dad, I'm not married, but I'm just a guy with a job in North Carolina.
Do you know it's primarily funded by two oil billionaires, brothers?
This is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah.
Who are they?
I think they're the Koch brothers. I'm not positively sure how you pronounce their last name, but there's a huge profile in this month's New Yorker all about this organization and where its funding came from.
All right. I'll have to do homework on that.
When do you think we've lost honor? Or what honor are we restoring, I should say?
Well, we've lost honor several years back, actually, probably with the inception of Social Security was one of the milestones.
And are there specific examples of areas you want to see change?
First of all, we have killed over 50 million innocent Americans, the unborn, okay? And just think, if we had those 50 million here, maybe the Social Security wouldn't be in such a mess right now. You know what I'm saying? We're running out of money out of there.
It's time for all the denominations in the churches to get together. It's time for all the non-denominational churches to get together and quit their bickering.
Do you think there's a danger to having Christians be as divided as they are?
Yes, there is. United we stand and divided we fall. It's that simple. Numbers speak, and numbers will take care of this.
I think duty has gone by the wayside, and it's more about they want to make a career. I mean, how many politicians have gotten wealthy by being politicians? That's not right.
Do you think that Sarah Palin's gotten wealthy by being a politician?
No, I think she's probably gained. I mean, she's made some gains by getting into the public eye because, 4 years ago, who would have cared about a book by Sarah Palin?
There are black rappers that say the word nigger. If I go to Chicago and I say that, I will get shot because I'm not black. But how that is not racist.
How does that relate to
That double standard applies to a lot of stuff. To criticize the current head of the administration about anything, you get screamed at for being a racist. It has nothing to do with whether or not you actually disagree with his policies. You think that history has shown a different example, or we keep losing millions and millions of jobs after spending almost $1 trillion supposedly to create them. Pointing out any of that has about 1/3 of the country screaming at you for being a racist, because the only way you can disagree with a black president is if you're a racist, not because you disagree with an issue.
Do you think that's what people are saying? They're saying that If you disagree with Obama, you're necessarily a racist?
I've been called a racist for that very reason.
Might it
I know
been
that
might it been because you used the N-word?
Oh, I have never used the N-word on television before now, and 99% of my life I make a point of avoiding it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a word that
It's
should.
just that other 1% that gets you.
Well, it's the 1% that get away with it, and everyone else is okay with it. It's the double standard.
We're not allowed to have our opinions, and that's wrong. I am an American citizen. This man right here is an American citizen. You are an American citizen. We are allowed to have our rights, and nobody can stand and say that what we believe is wrong. That's not what we were founded on. Tell them to go read the Declaration of Independence. Tell them to go read all those documents that the founding fathers.
But people can disagree.
They're allowed to disagree. That's fine. But don't step on my toes. I'm not going to step on yours. Don't step on mine.
And how do you think some of that's been going on? How do you think people have been stepping on your toes?
By infringing on my rights to speak as I will, or as I believe.
But how's that happening?
You're getting me up in a row is what you're doing.
How's that? Why is that?
Because you keep asking me the same questions over and over and again.
I'm just curious why it is you believe the things you do, or why does what?
I was raised a Christian.
Yeah.
I go to a Baptist church,
Sure.
a very nice Baptist church. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe the man died for my sins. I believe he sits on the right hand of God.
But I'm wondering why you believe that your rights are being infringed on.
When I can't stand or sit here and tell you about Jesus Christ and how he died for your sins, and how somebody's going to come up to me and tell me that I'm wrong and that God does not exist.
No one's infringing on your rights. I mean, you're allowed to say those things.
That's right. But when they start doing it, that's infringing on my rights.
There is no more honor within the media. Look at this. I cannot guesstimate, but I would say this is the largest crowd I have ever been in my life. And you're talking to someone who's been to some rock concerts in her day, And now the media has to see we have a voice. You can't ignore the voice of the people, the voice of the American people.
Now, do you think there are good examples of media, people who are doing their jobs and getting the message out correctly?
Few. I think there's going to. Oh, wait a minute. That young gentleman who exposed the Acorn scandal.
Oh, James O'Keefe.
Yes, James O'Keefe. Yeah. That I am so proud of that.
Now on the left they're saying that he's misconstrued the editing and things of those videos.
Well, of course the left are going to say that. Right. Please, they're going to. It was just. I found it.
So you think it's unfair to be criticizing for that?
Well, freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want.
Right.
Say whatever you want. But that young boy exposed the entire Acorn scandal when you have journalists earning, I don't know exactly how much, of course,
right.
Journalists being paid very handsomely who couldn't do the job
right.
of a gentleman like yourself.
Sure.
I loved it.
Well, any other final thoughts just about, why you came out today and going into November?
I would love this country to go back to September 12th, 13th, 14th, and how we felt after 9/11, how everybody hung out their flag and
weren't we like a sort of a scared country then?
Direction.
I mean, weren't we the day after September 11th? Weren't we a scared, afraid country? I mean, confused.
I was afraid, but I'm more afraid now. I am more afraid now.
I'm going to be sitting now. I have bad legs. Look, I am not going to look at your butt.
This is right what she's doing?
No.
Does anybody think this is right what she's doing? No. Ma'am, can you hear this? Can you hear these people behind you? You're wrong.
Okay. I have asked you, ma'am, 3 times respectfully. I am not going to look at your behind. I have come here to look at this program. Here. So you are. If you don't move, how can I bring my chair closer?